My name's Cameron Ellis, and at 34, I'd come to accept that my love life in Seattle's perpetually drizzled dating pool was about as stable as a Jenga tower built on quicksand. I tried the classics, coffee dates that drowned in awkward silences, brewery crawls where the IPA loosened tongues but not ties, and even a disastrous axe-throwing session that ended with me splitting my jeans and my dignity in front of a group of millennial lumberjacks. But apps, they were my siren song. Endless swipes promising connection in a city where eye contact was as rare as sunshine. Enter Harper Lee, no relation to the author, she joked, a 32-year-old ceramics artist I'd matched with on Crafty Hearts, a niche app for makers and dreamers, where profiles showcased favorite flaw instead of filtered selfies. Hers, throwing pots since I could walk, seeking someone who doesn't mind getting their hands dirty. Mine, aspiring woodworker, actual IKEA assembler. Bonus, I can whistle Bohemian Rhapsody off-key. Our chats molded like wet clay, her sharing snaps of wonky mugs glazed in galaxy blues, me countering with tales of my latest shelf collapse. Gravity, 1, Cam, 0. We bonded over the therapy of creation, her wheel-spun bowls as vessels for bad days, my half-sanded cutting boards as edible art therapy. By our fourth video call, her in a smock dusted with cobalt slip, me nursing a latte in my tiny Capitol Hill apartment, I threw caution and a Groupon to the wind. A couple's pottery class at Clayhaven Studio, a cozy warehouse turned atelier in Fremont, where the air smelled of damp earth and possibility. Hands in the clay, hearts on the wheel, I texted. No pressure, unless it's centrifugal force. She replied with a spinning top emoji. Pinch me if I dream too big. Bring your whistle for moral support. The evening of January 10th, 2026 dawned gray and unyielding, Seattle's winter grip turning the sound into a slate mirror. I arrived at Clayhaven 10 minutes early, nerves kneading like dough in my gut. The studio was a maker's fever dream, exposed brick walls hung with asymmetrical platters, shelves groaning under bisque-fired ghosts, and long communal tables lined with kick wheels humming like patient engines. A dozen couples milled about, some giggling pros, others stiff as raw clay, under the watchful eye of our instructor, a bohemian named Sage, with headed hands and a voice like wind chimes in a gale. I'd prepped like a pro, watched 3 YouTube tutorials on centering clay, keep your elbows in, breathe, don't fight the spin, packed a playlist of chill lo-fi beats, and even practiced my casual artist pose in the mirror. Spoiler, it looked like a dad at a rave. Harper swept in at 6:05, a vision in overalls splashed with terracotta flecks, her curly auburn hair tied in a bandana that screamed effortless genius. She carried a canvas tote bulging with tools, ribs, calipers, a mystery glaze vial, and her smile, wide and unpainted, warmed the kiln room. Cam, the whistler who once built a birdhouse that attracted raccoons? She hugged me hello, her embrace earthy and unhurried, like sinking into fresh loam. Trailblazing architect, I quipped, leading her to our wheel station. 2 stools facing a double sink, clay blocks waiting like blank canvases. Sage kicked off with a demo, wedging the lump, kneading out air bubbles with a satisfying slap-slap, slapping it onto the wheel, and pulling up walls with fingers dipped in slip. Feel the clay's memory, she intoned. It's forgiving, like love. We nodded sagely, but as the wheels whirred to life under our feet, the magic sparked. Harper's hands, calloused from years of throwing, danced over her mound, coaxing it into a graceful cylinder, while I fumbled mine into a lopsided blob that wobbled like a drunk giraffe. You're a natural, she teased, her knee bumping mine under the table, sending a jolt up my spine. We laughed through the mess, my clay climbing the wheel like a determined vine, hers blooming into a tulip vase that caught the pendant lights just so. The first hour flew in a blur of water splashes and inside jokes, her renaming my pot the Leaning Tower of Pisa, me dubbing hers Harper's Heartthrob Urn. Conversations centered like our clay. Her solo exhibit last spring sold out, but one buyer returned a piece, said it made her ex too present. My freelance gig designing eco-widgets for startups, solar-powered coasters, because saving the planet one spill at a time. By the pulling stage, her slip-slick fingers guided mine over the lump. Elbows in, breathe with the spin, our hands entwining in a tactile tango that had nothing to do with pottery and everything to do with pulse. The room hummed with creation, couples across the way shaping teapots and trays, Sage circulating with sage advice, less force, more flow.
We paused for tea time, actual chamomile in handmade mugs, and under the studio's skylight, stars peeking through clouds, I felt it, the pull, gravitational, glazing over us like a perfect celadon. Emboldened, I suggested the advanced twist, glazing our pieces early, a la carte option for bold souls. Rock Who Fire demo after? Sage encouraged. Harper's eyes lit. Let's make 'em sing in the kiln. We selected glints, hers a matte midnight, mine a crackle white, and slathered on, the pigments swirling like abstract emotions. But hubris, that sneaky underglaze, had its own firing schedule. As I dipped my sponge for a flourish, my elbow nudged the communal water bucket, a 5-gallon beast teetering on the table's edge. Time slowed, the slosh, tip, the cascade. Water erupted like a geyser, flooding our station in a biblical deluge that raced across the floor, soaking wheels, smocks, and the feet of the couple next door, a yoga instructor and her tech bro Bo, who yelped like scalded cats.
Chaos kiln-fired from there. Slippery clay plus panicked feet equals slip-and-slide apocalypse. The yogi windmilled into a shelf, sending bisque shards flying like shrapnel. Tech bro lunged to save his mug, only to belly flop into the puddle. His phone, mid-Tinder swipe, shorting out in a fizzle of sparks. Screams mingled with laughter as glazes tipped, jars shattering in rainbow explosions, cobalt bleeding into copper like a coccyx sunset. My pot? A drowned rat, collapsing into sludge. Harper's vase teetered, then toppled, glazing the floor in midnight mourning. Sage hit the emergency kiln shut-off, safety first, but not before the fire suppression system mistook the flood for flames. Sprinklers hissed to life, drenching the studio in a second wave. Couple scrambled, one grandma-type comic slipping into a hug with her date. Well, that's one way to merge. Another fleeing with a half-formed teapot clutched like a football. Evacuation was a wet t-shirt contest gone wrong. Us herded into the alley amid hail-sized snowflakes, clay-caked and shivering, Sage tallying casualties. 2 wheels shorted, glazes ruined, but no one hurt. Harper and I huddled under a shared tarp from her tote, her bandana sodden, my jeans heavy as regrets. "Cam," she said, teeth chattering, "that was elemental. Water, earth, a dash of fire. Air's the snow, I guess." I groaned, the weight of my elbow nudge sinking deeper than the clay. I turned art therapy into aquatic arson. Your exhibit dreams deserve better than my bumbling. She tilted my chin up, eyes flecked with glaze specks, steady as a centered wheel. "Hey, flops are the first firing. Raw clay's ugly. It's the heat that reveals." We shared a laugh, soggy, surreal, and trudged to my truck, heater blasting for salvage supper at a 24-hour pho spot, broth as balm. Over steaming bowls, stories bubbled. Her first wheel session at 10, flinging clay at her brother's head, sibling glazing. My IKEA fail shelf that held until it didn't, crushing a vintage lamp, domestic abstract. Vulnerability vitrified. Her divorce last year, he called my pots hobbies like love's a side gig. My string of supportive dates that fizzled when I fixed too much. Her hand across the table, thumb tracing my knuckles. "You're not a fixer, Cam. You're fertile soil. Messy, but growth happens." The kiss ignited in the parking lot, faux-spiced, snow-damp, deepening like a pulled handle. I drove her home to her Wallingford walk-up, promising rematch, wood shop, no liquids. She texted at midnight, "Check your email. Sage says we're legends." Groggy, I clicked, a group chat invite from Clay Haven's Disaster Darlings. Pics of the flood, captioned, "Pottery Prom, the wet edition." Comments flooded. "Rematch night? Entry, your worst flop story." By dawn, it had 200 members, Sage pitching fiasco firings workshops. Embrace the crackle. The twist tempered 2 days later over takeout clay sculpting. Safe, dry fun in my apartment. My phone pinged, a DM from @Harper Lee Potts. Wait, her verified handle? Cam, funny thing. Attached, a scan of her mystery vial from the tote. Not glaze, but a shard from her first ever pot thrown at 10 with her mom, pre-cancer. Kept it for luck. During the flood, it washed out, intact. Mom's voice, cracks let the light in. But the kiln kicker? The vial's label, faded ink, for C. Ellis, future collaborator. Her mom's maiden name? Ellis. Turns out Sage, our instructor, was her mom's college roommate who'd passed my Groupon query to Harper months back. Sounds like your type, klutzy kindred. The match? Staged serendipity, clay from the same vein.
I stared at the shard, grinning through tears. Your mom matchmaking from the beyond? Harper nodded, slipping it into my palm. She'd say, fiascos fire the form. Exhibit collab? Your wood, my wheels. Now, with crackled collaborations mugs selling out at markets and mom's recipes glazing our shelves, we throw together. Hands dirty, hearts open. The catastrophe? Not the flood, it was the drought before, parched for this pull. In Seattle's showers, every slip's a shape, every fiasco the glaze that gleams. Who knew a bucket tip could temper a legacy, fade to fired?